It's round 16. Premier Division A grade action, and Narre straight away with ball in hand, wasting no time there. Was Tonner off to Maud, and she goes back to Tonner, and that's a good pass to Lolu. And a good early start for Narre Warren. First goal of the game. 1-0 lead, early days. So we're back at the centre, and this time it's Clark, who goes short to Dewhurst, to McDowell, who had to keep it in play and did well. Just got the pass away time. Here is Ferguson, who presented nicely, then went back to McDowell. Searches around momentarily. Ferguson once again did well. And now Clark involved. Looked at Perry Reid, but decided against it. McDowell for a third time in this passage. And knocked out a play there by Katani. So back to Ferguson for Monbulk, the skipper, who goes back to Clark. Calls for it again, does Ferguson. Just can't really break away from Katani. Here's McDowell. And Ferguson into good position, can line up the first goal for Monbulk, and she puts it through and scores a level early days. One apiece it is. As we come back into the centre once again, so Machado goes laterally to Katani and then on to Tonner. Tonner waits around for a couple of moments, eventually comes back to Barrientos. She once again goes through Tonner. Maund on the outside, doing pretty well, and Lolu front and centre puts it through, and Narre have got their second. And they're wasting no time out of these centre passes, are the Magpies. So once again, Clark to set him up, finds Ferguson. Ferguson waits a couple of moments, laterally and dangerously. Dewhurst eventually ends up with it. It was a couple of nervous moments there, but they recover in the end of Monbulk. Ferguson once again, got it from McDowell, comes across Clark right on her measure. Can't go inside the circle, but did well to get it to Ferguson, who has started the game well, gets her second goal. And once again, we're all square. Early days in match of the round. So Barrientos, again with a lateral pass from Machado. Lolu comes back to Machado, waits a couple of moments, and then again to Barrientos, and it's going to come forward. And once again, Grace Lolu already started well, 2 goals, make that 3. So once again, they pretty quickly get that 1 goal margin back to Narre. So Clark out of the centre to McDowell. McDowell waits it well as to Clark. Clark searches around, eventually comes back to McDowell, and Ferguson again front and centre. And she started the game well, has the Monbulk captain, got 3 goals already. And both sides started this game pretty well. Maud on the end of the centre pass on this occasion. She comes in, board to Tonner, good one to Lolu. Searches around, and Machado did well, just had to get up at the right time. And Tonner, who can line up her first goal for the game. And not with the first attempt, but with the second. So once again, Narre with that 1 goal margin. So back to Clark in the centre. Clark to Whitworth. Oh, and just had too much on the pass, and McDowell couldn't control. It's going to come back for Katani. He has Barrientos with plenty of room. Comes inboard onto Tonner. Much longer pass on that occasion. And here is Lolu. And an early break coming up for Narre Warren. She puts it through. 5 goals to 3 it is. So once again in the centre for Machado. Maund to the front to Lolu. Waits a couple of moments. And here is Tonner. Lateral pass is a good one to Machado. Beautifully done. Oh, gee. Bit of contact coming through there from Whitaker. Won't matter anyway. She already had the ball, did Lolu, and she puts that one through and out to a 3 goal margin. So just gaining some early ascendancy are Narre Warren. So the pass comes back to Whitaker, and then once again to Clark. Whitaker calls for it and gets it back once more. Here is McDowell onto Ferguson. All the way back to Dewhurst, and then again for McDowell. Unsure where to go. She goes back to Dewhurst. McDowell, who's gained a bit of territory. Underground pass, a good one. Ferguson onto Reid. And it was tough, but they get there eventually to Monbulk. They get the goal and stay within touch. 6-4 the score. So once again, Machado out of the centre to Maund, who had plenty of room. Maund waits and did well to Tonner. Machado again to Tonner. So this, just to stretch it back out to that 3 goal lead, and just couldn't finish off the job, could Whitaker. And Tonner with a second opportunity, puts it through, and they do get back out to that 3 goal margin. Do the Magpies. So once again, Clark, over the head of McDowell. She's got to keep it in. She's done well to recover that one. She's going to come back to Whitaker. It's not Whitaker, sorry, it's Whitworth. She finds Clark, laterally to Dewhurst. Dewhurst back to Whitaker. Unsure where to go, and she's taken too long. And they've corralled them well, have Narre Warren. This will come back to Barrientos, who wastes no time. Onto Maund. Maund waits, centres it beautifully to Tonner. Over the top to Lolu, and here's another opportunity for the Magpies. And Lolu puts it through, 8-4 the score. And really started this game well. So once again, back to Machado. Short pass, good one. Tonner, long pass. And Whitaker did well, got the hand in, but will stay with the Magpies as Tonner collects it. So trickled out of play momentarily, and Lolu just had the height advantage and puts through another goal. It's 9-4 already. So 5 goals the difference early days, as once again they come out of the centre. Clark on to Ferguson, who put too much on the pass. And a reprieve here for the Narre defence. So it's currently in the hands of Dwyer. Long pass up the line through the hands of Barry Entos. So it comes back to Machado. Short pass, good one to Maund. Back into the corner there was Tonner, and then once again for Matty Maund. Waits and Machado opened up a position on court, and a couple of cheeky 1-2s there with Tonner, who can put through potentially yet another goal. So Lolu. And there we go, 7-3, according to the scoreboard here at Narre Warren. So anyway, Tonner's got the ball, got it from Katani. Katani short to Maund. Maund did well onto Lolu. It came back to Machado. Short pass, perfectly fine, that one. And here is... They've done pretty well there. Whitworth did nicely. Dewhurst on the end of this one, waits. And then centres it to Clark. Clark, who's got Whitworth up the court with plenty of room. Whitworth comes back to Dewhurst. Dewhurst again for Whitworth. And then again, Dewhurst has been involved plenty of times in this chain. McDowell unsure where to go. So Dewhurst once again slapped away by Barry Entos. Did it legally as well. Barry Entos gets it back. This time onto Maund. Lolu doesn't want it just yet. Comes back to Barry Entos. Now Machado. Maund once again. Tonner's open. Gets it to her. And Chelsea Tonner, no, it'll be Lolu, who could potentially make this 7 goals. No mistake at all. 11-4 is the score. Very good start. So once again, Dewhurst onto Clark. McDowell quickly fires it into Ferguson. Oh, it's a chaos ball. And Narre onto it once again. Barry Entos wasted no time to Tonner. Tonner all the way over to Maund. Just go short to Machado, and that she does. Now Tonner. Lolu being double teamed at the moment. Once again, it comes to Maund. So Maund can go, and eventually Tonner on the end of this one. She can make it 8 goals. The difference. No, Stewart did well on the last line of defence. And they're away. Clark back to Stewart. Whitworth will call for it. Comes back to her, being corralled by Maund, but then eventually finds Dewhurst. Dewhurst comes back once again. So a couple of positional changes early days. All pass, good one there to Barnett. And once again, they can get moving. So this is Maund. Fires it into Lolu, not into scoring position just yet. Comes back to Tonner, then a short one to Machado. Machado, Tonner. And Maund, who stepped inside the circle. There we go, no contact. Umpire to let that one go. So Stewart onto Dewhurst and then back to Stewart. Long pass up the line's a pretty good one. Presenting nice on that occasion, I believe, was Barnett. And then McDowell, and now Reid. Puts that one through. It's a much needed goal for Monbulk on that occasion. So once again, out of the centre they go. Tonner laterally and worked out to Barry Entos, who had plenty of room. Machado again to Barry Entos. Maund. Once again for Machado. Puts it up, and Lolu just with the height advantage. Puts it through. There we go. There's another goal. And 12-5 reads the scoreboard at Coolora Park. So very good start for the home side. So Whittaker's moved into the centre. She'll come back to Whitworth. Whittaker, long pass this time. Good one it is. Barnett all the way back to Dewhurst. Ferguson has moved into wing attack as well, so swung plenty of changes. Pretty early days, and that does trickle out of play. Just a little bit of contact came at the last moment, so a little reprieve for the Hawks. And Barnett puts it through. Much needed goal. And 13-5, or 12-6, sorry, it is early days. Machado out of the centre. Tonner had room. Waits. Long pass, and Lolu somehow all on her own right in front of goal puts it through, and just like that they got the instant response. Back to 7 goals, 13-6 it is. Just couldn't believe their luck there, could Narre Warren. So Ferguson it was, in fact, to Whitaker. And then comes back to Dewhurst. Whitaker once again looks ahead, had Reed, decided against it. And now Dwyer knocking it out. So Perry Reid, who's come into the game the last couple of minutes, and Katani did well enough, got it away to Dwyer, long pass to Machado, who was up the court, laterally to Katani, and then on to Tonner. Tonner just a short one back on this occasion to Machado, and Lolu does well. And puts through another goal, there we go. 8 goals the difference it is, 14-6. So once again, out of the centre they come. Katani's pass over the head, and Dewhurst could have let it go, but just decided to take it last moment. Whitaker, unsure where to go, comes back to Dewhurst, pops over the top once again. Whitaker on the end of it. This is Ferguson, doing well. And then once again, Dewhurst. Ferguson. Dewhurst for a third time, just got a bit of contact from Maund. Ferguson, they're just corralling him nicely, but Perry Reid gets out the back. So they found an opening, have Monbulk, and Reid not with the first opportunity, but with the second puts it through. So much to goal there again for Monbulk. Just now to start stringing a couple together. Trailing by 7 goals it is at the moment. So Whitaker out of the centre to Ferguson, back to Whitaker. Centres it. Barnett, I believe it is, and then Reid, who's having a good couple of minutes, puts for another goal, gets it back to 6 goals the difference. 14-8 is the score. As once again we are back in the centre. Machado, Tonner, who opened up a bit of space, comes back to Barrientos. Laterally again to Machado, and a bit of contact given away, so it'll be brought forward to Maund, who just comes laterally to Machado, and here is Tonner. And very nicely done there to Lolu, who can get it back out to 7 goals the difference, 15-8 the score. Once again, we're back in the centre for Whitaker. Ferguson. Lateral pass, good one again to Whitaker. Has Reid the short option, did well, and quickly fired away riskily, but it works out in the end, so they get one back to Monbulk. So once again, here we go. Maund had Machado, decided Tonner was the better option. Now Barrientos, right on a measure here, and Maund just getting some contact there from Clark. So really swinging the changes quite frequently here at Monbulk. Most players have almost played in 2 different positions so far for the quarter. Contact given away, so it'll come back to Machado. Monbulk fans disappointed with that one, and then the turnover straight to Whitaker, so it won't matter. And they're on the counter-attack are the Hawks. Inboard to Clark. Good pass once again to Barnett. Clark once more. Has Whitaker up ahead, decides against it. Barnett once more, and Reid, oh, she did keep it in play. Decides to come back to Ferguson, and Ferguson back to Reid at a much better spot this time, and doing well there was Dwyer. Gets it away to Katani, and then on to Machado. Barrientos involved, and once again with Dwyer. Barrientos for a second time. Laterally to Katani, up the court to Maund, who had to get up at the right time and did just that. Tonner, very well done, Lolu. Once again out the back. Puts for another goal. It's back to 7 goals the difference, 16-9 the score. Just as we near quarter time. So out it comes. Barnett fires it in dangerously, and it's not going to work out in the end. Katani got the hand in. It fell to Barrientos, who's got it once more. Good pass on to Maund, and then Lolu, who just spilled it momentarily. Didn't matter. Chips it back, and nicely done to Maund. Tonner calls for it, gets it. And just a little contact given away there by Clark. And once again, Lolu, just a bit too good on that occasion. It's back out to an 8-goal difference now, 17-9. And Machado once again with a centre pass. Maund, Lolu, all the way back. Machado had to get up and did just that. Maund, Tonner tucked into the corner and cleverly done. This for the biggest lead of the game, but there it is, 18-9. And just putting on a bit of a clinic at the moment, a Narre Warren. Very crisp bits of play. So Ferguson, laterally, slightly dangerously, but it worked out okay in the end. A long pass is a good one. Barnett comes inboard. Ferguson and Reid. Did Dwyer keep it in? Umpire happy enough, so stays with Dwyer. Has Barrientos the short option. Onto Catani. Machado. Barrientos once again. Couple of 1-2s with Machado through the hands of Maughan, but she just recovered in time. Got it onto Tonner. Back to Machado and Lolu. Oh, well done. Knocked away beautifully on that occasion by Stewart, but Lolu's going to get it, not in time. And the Monbulk defence too, hold off from a red tay. And wasting no time. Narre Warren warned with the ball in hand once again. Couple of positional changes. Looks like Tennille Morrell's moved into the centre. And Chelsea Tonner. And just like they started, this is Grace Lolu, who puts through the first goal of the second quarter. 19-9 is the score. 10 goals the difference. Once again, it is Whittaker in the centre. Good pass. So it comes back. Ferguson back into goal shooter. It is actually on this occasion. Started as goal attack. Could have gone short to Whittaker, but came inboard to McDowell. And Ferguson just held strong in position. And she will put through the first goal for Monbulk in the second quarter. Back to 9 goals the difference. So Morrell out of the centre onto Maughan. She'll come back to Catani. Catani, Morrell did well. Had to stand tall on that occasion and did so. This is Tonner Lolu, who's just been a little bit too good so far. Oh, she... How does the umpire see this? She's going to call them to go. Himmelreich gets the moving out of defence. This comes on to Whitworth. Dewhurst waits and then eventually gets it off to Whittaker. Long pass. McDowell did well. Kept it in play just at the last moment. Comes all the way back to Dewhurst. And once again, McDowell back in motion and finds Ferguson. So this potentially for back-to-back goals. No, Catani did well and gets the pass away to Morrell. Waits and then comes all the way back on this occasion. Did that pretty well. To Hennessy it was. And now Barrientos Morrell keeps them moving. Ball knocked around. Oh, it came off the hand of Whittaker, unfortunately for Monbulk. And it will stay with Narre Warren and Chelsea Tonner. Tonner, oh, doing very well there was Whittaker, just getting up at the right time. Long pass is a good one to Barnett. He's got to wait a couple of moments, then comes back to Whitworth. So Whittaker to Ferguson. Looked at Reed, but decided to come back to Whittaker, and she's put too much on the pass. It just came off the hand. Can you believe that? So at both ends, just a little flick of the ball. Ferguson dangerously, and Barrientos did well, and they're on the counter-attack. Morrell. Barrientos and Morrell, here we go, working in tandem, but then the pass comes off to Maughan. Maughan centres it. Oh, doing really well was Whitworth. She gets on the end of it eventually, off to Whittaker. Now Monbulk on the counter-attack. Here is Barnett. Got to wait a couple of moments. Short pass is a good one to Whittaker. Waits. Here is McDowell. Doesn't want Ferguson, or eventually she does, but then doing really well there was Hennessy. And once again, Narre on the counter-attack. Barrientos comes back to Hennessy. Then on to Tonner. Tonner. Morrell waits. Back to Tonner. Short pass, good one to Maughan. Can she get it over the top to Lolu? Doesn't want to do it just yet. Comes back to Barrientos and then Maughan. Tonner puts it up and doing pretty well so far as Himmelreich. So it comes back. Maughan. Morrell. Lolu to the front. Just got a bit of contact. Will come back to Chelsea Tonner. And Lolu eventually can line them up and put it through and get it back to a 10-goal margin. So a bit of everything happening there in that chain of play, but eventually it is Narre who get the responding goal. Barnett, Whittaker, Dewhurst fires that into Ferguson. McDowell, little bounce pass and that works out okay. Ferguson could line them up, doesn't want to though. Comes back to McDowell once again, and this time it was Stewart to the front. And does well, Ellie Stewart puts that one through. Very important early goal. Morrell, Tonner, good one. Maughan put too much on the pass. So a little reprieve there for Monbulk, but they've got to try and make something of this. So Himmelreich. Dangerous, but it works out okay in the end to Whitworth. Whitworth up the line to Whittaker. But then Maud cleverly snatches it onto Tonna. Could just go long to Lolu, and she's done really well. Probably argue the pass had too much on it, but it did not matter for Grace Lolu. Controlled it beautifully. Puts through the goal. Gets it back to a 10-goal difference. 21-11 it is. As once again, Whittaker in the centre. Comes back to Whitworth, into McDowell. Whitworth once again. McDowell again. Waited and waited. Getting up at the right time was Whittaker. Short one to Stewart. Stewart comes back to McDowell. He just got a bit of contact. So McDowell can reload him. That's beautifully done to Stewart. Needs to put this through, and she does. Gets it back to 9 goals, 21-12. So out of the centre they go once more. Onto Maund. Maund laterally, dangerously, but works out to Barrientos. And then Morrill looking for Maund once again, but goes further at court to Tonna. Maund, Lolu has it knocked away. Does Maund? It's got to come back though. Wasn't done illegally, and Lolu this time finishes off the job. Back to 10 goals the difference, 22-12. So once again, Dewhurst, Ferguson, Whittaker. Oh, well done. Hennessy wasting no time, and they're away. As they start to get moving. Oh, here we go. They're at the back. This is going to be another goal, and there we go. So once again, Barrientos works it around Maund. And Himmelreich got it from Clark. Himmelreich once again, good pass, works out in the end to Whittaker. Short one to Dewhurst, who's moving to wing attack now. Stewart, Ferguson did well. Just kept her balance at the right time, puts through the goal, gets it back to 10 the difference. Much needed that was for Monbulk. So Whittaker once again in the centre. And just breaking too early there, a Narre. So comes back to Himmelreich. Ferguson, Stewart. Just got contact from Dwyer. And then shorts it back to Ferguson. So Ferguson, this for back-to-back goals from Monbulk. She puts it through. Gets it back to 9 goals the difference, 23-14 the score. So once again, Morrill quickly onto Tonna. Good one to Maud, who opened up, and Lolu just had all the room in the world. And just like that's back to 10 goals, 24-14. So Whittaker again in the centre. Dewhurst was open, but decided to go for Stewart dangerously, but it's worked out. They've opened it up a bit here. Have Monbulk, Whittaker, Ferguson. And quick response there for the Hawks. Back to 9 goals, 24-15 the score. So Porty-Laban comes onto the court for the first time today. Lolo, cleverly done though. Clark, who's moved into that goalkeeper position, gets the ball moving. Barnett gets the ball moving up to Stewart. Dangerously turned over. Katani did well. Laban did well onto Lolu. It comes back to Laban. Lateral pass is a good one. Here is Morrill and Lolu. Once again, right place, right time. There's another goal. Back to 10 goals the difference. So Whittaker with a centre pass. Dewhurst. Stewart. Dewhurst called for it, but came back to Whittaker. Ferguson presents and gets it. Dewhurst with a short pass. Puts it up and too much on it, and Dwyer was right there. Katani did well onto Morrill, who's got a weight. Eventually comes inboard. Good one to Dwyer. Back to Katani. Barrientos. Maund. Puts him inside the attacking third once again to Laban. Barrientos this time to Maund, looks around, and Laban, it's knocked away and off the hand of Barnett. So it comes back to Maund, who can reload, and just through the hands there of Lolu, so just a bit too much on the pass. So Barnett gets it. Oh, a bit of work to be done there. So Dewhurst. Barnett did well, has Whittaker up ahead, goes for her, and nicely done to Stewart. They can get it back to 9 goals once again. Here come Monbulk, and they do just that, 25-16 the score. Morrill quickly out of the centre, doing nicely. Good one to Lolu, back to Maund. Can she find Laban? No, Lolu will do just fine, and here is Porty-Laban, who's had a pretty good couple of weeks, but just couldn't put that one through, and wasting no time. Pass comes laterally. That'll do just fine for the moment, and away they go. Barnett, long pass. Here is Dewhurst. Dangerously, but it fell into the lap of Whittaker fortuitously. And Ferguson puts it through. They get it back to 8 goals. So just starting to build a little bit of momentum, are the Hawks. Just trimming down on the margin. Dewhurst, Whittaker, Dewhurst again. Stewart's up ahead, so too Ferguson, but goes short once again to Whittaker. It'll come back to Whittaker. Dewhurst. Stewart not happy with this spot, just got a bit of contact on that occasion. So locked into Monbulk's end of the ground, or end of the court, I should say, for the moment. Dewhurst. Nicely done to Ferguson, who puts it through, gets it back to 7 goals. So just need to try and halt the momentum just a little bit here. You do Narre, Laban, Katani, Maund. Pass slightly affected and they're away. Whittaker got it away to Barnett. She'll come back to Barnett as well. Looks ahead, laterally worked out to Whittaker, then Dewhurst. Whittaker once again stood tall. Here is Ferguson. Ferguson laterally. Whittaker stood strong. Up it goes and Ferguson's got it. And this to get it back to 6 goals. And they've done really well here. Have Monbulk got the last 4 and the margin from 10 goals now down to 6. As it comes away to Dewhurst, slapped away there by Dwyer, and it comes out of play. So Dewhurst with ball in hand once again. Assessing the options, just comes back at the moment to Whitworth. Nicely done, and Whittaker's got it. Here is Ferguson, puts it up. Stewart did well. Collected it nicely in the one hand. She can make it 5 in a row for Monbulk, and she does. 25-20 it is. As Clark comes back onto the court for Whittaker. So they're away once again. Laban, long pass through the hands of Lolu, was it? And suddenly they've just built a bit of pressure of Monbulk. So back it comes. Oh, Whitworth spilled it. And that could be costly. They've just given the ball straight back to them. Can you believe that? So Morrill centres it nicely to Maund. Short pass is a good one. Maund once again. And now Laban just needs to steady the ship, and she does that beautifully. Laban puts it through, gets it back to 6 goals the difference. So once again, Monbulk's chance to respond. Stewart, Dewhurst, Ferguson, dangerously, but it works out in the end to Clark. And Ferguson eventually drags it in and gets the goal, gets it back to 5 goals the difference, 26-21. As we're back in the centre once again for Morrill. Laban waits and then eventually comes back to Katani. Maund just got a bit of contact there from Barnett, so it comes back to Barry Entos. Nicely done to Morrill. Calling for it is Lolu. Laban on the end of this one though. Just got her first goal moments ago and doesn't put that through, but it won't matter because Lolu right there completes the job. Back to 6 goals the difference, 27-21. Clark all the way back to Whittaker. Whitworth, sorry it was. Short pass. Lolu got a hand in, but it didn't matter too much. So we'll stay with Whitworth for the moment. Dewhurst, Barnett, long, dangerously. Whose hand was it off? It's going to go the way of Narre Warren. Dwyer inboard, good one. Maund got it from Morrill. Laban puts it up and Lolu did brilliantly. Just had the advantage there on Himmelreich, and there is another goal. So out it comes over the head of Maund. And just slip of the hand, so this is Himmelreich. Whittaker did well, held on to it in the end. Barnett nicer to Dewhurst. Here is Clark. Can she keep it in play? Yes, she can. Stewart all the way back to Dewhurst. And Ferguson gets one back for Monbulk. Back to 6 goals the difference, 28-22 the score. And once again, the Hawks centre pass. So blood rule. So Whittaker has to come back on. Here is Dewhurst. Whittaker runs onto it nicely. Waits. Ferguson with a little 1-2, and she can line them up for back-to-back goals and puts it through, and 28-23 it is. So still staying in the hunt are the Hawks. Morrill knocked away. Contact given away. There you go. That's what they umpire says. So Morrill, mourned, low. Just to steady the ship once again. Gets it back to 6 goals, 29-23. Whitaker, Dewhurst, Stewart, and taking a step. Can you believe that? Katani, pass was effective but not legally, so they go again. So Barry Entos, and that'll do us for half-time. 29-23 it is the way of Monbulk. Little fight back there by the Hawks. And it's to Neil Morrill with the centre pass. Barry Entos wastes no time onto Tonner. Comes back to Barry Entos. Morrill looks at Lolu. So they're trying to work it around a little bit. Will Narre, and Tonner does nicely to find Lolu, and she gets it to that 7-goal margin early days in the second. So once again, Clark. Stewart went one way, but it came to Dewhurst in the end, and here is Ferguson. And this for the quick response for Monbulk, and Ferguson, the captain, puts it through. Back to 6 goals the difference, 30-24. Once again, out of the centre they go. Tonner over the top nicely to Morrill. Lolu calls for it, gets it through the legs, and we'll come back on this occasion. So once again, Chelsea Tonner just goes short to Machado, who's come on to this third quarter as a wing attack. And now Tonner on this occasion. This to get it back to 7 goals. No, goes short to Lolu, and she will put it out to 7 goals. 31-24 the score. So once again, Clark onto Whitaker. Comes back to Himmelreich. Did that nicely. Whitaker this time. Or Whitworth, sorry, it was Barnett. Clark. Stewart all the way back, and in the end it finds Whitworth. Dewhurst to Ferguson, who makes it work, and Stewart. So this is Stewart. Comes back nicely onto Dewhurst, and anyone's ball here. It falls into the hands of Clark, and then comes back to Stewart, who doesn't want to have the shot at goal just yet. So they'll reload through Clark, and Stewart got up at the right time. And didn't want to have the shot at goal, and that could be costly because now Narre got it back, and they're on the counter-attack. Morrill did well to Tonner, and then on to Barry Entos. Tonner again. Machado. Tonner. Lolu gets it. And 33-24. It's out to 9 goals. Costly mistake that was for Monbulk, and the margin stretches out just like that. Machado nicely down to Dwyer. Barry Entos. Morrill. Couple of 1-2s, Lolu. Here is Tonner, laterally to Machado. And eventually it ends on to Lolu. We can make this 10 goals a difference, and 34-24 it is now. Really starting to break away, Narre Warren. So it's the centre pass for Clark. Just comes back in the moment for Whitworth. Barnett quickly on to Stewart, and then back to Barnett, is right on a measure. Here comes to Dewhurst. Ferguson. Knocked away, and that'll work just fine. Dwyer onto Hennessy. Morrill, good pass to Tonner. Calling for it as Machado. She gets it, comes back to Tonner, and then Machado once again. Waits a couple of moments. Tonner over the top. Machado just balanced at the right time. All the way back to Dwyer. Morrill, Tonner, Machado. And eventually finds Lolu, and they've done that pretty well. Himmelreich tried to put her off. Didn't get the shot at goal, but in the end it's Tonner who finishes it off. 11 goals the difference as they're really starting to run away now. Machado chips it back to Barry Entos. And Himmelreich did well momentarily, but it comes out of play. So it stays with the Magpies. So Machado. Laterally, and she's turned it over. So they're on the counter-attack now. Monbulk. Clark on the end of this one. Long pass. Finds Ferguson and does well to get it to Reid. And Perry Reid puts it through. And that was one they desperately needed. So 35 to 25, back it comes. On to Ferguson, does well to Dewhurst. Waits and waits, and Reid has got it. Doesn't want to have the shot at goal though, so Dewhurst once again to reload. Clark. Did well, Reid eventually found some open space, and Perry Reid, oh, she hasn't got this one. Maybe with the second attempt she puts this one through. Back-to-back goals, 35 to 26, the way Narre Warrant. So once again, here they go. They keep it moving, knocked away. It's anyone's ball for the moment. Here we go. Barnett all the way back to Himmelreich, dangerously, but in the end, Barnett did well. Ferguson, a long pass. Here is Dewhurst. And she's just thrown it straight back to Dwyer. Can you believe that? Hennessy does nice, involved a couple of times. Good long pass, and Lolu. Plenty of open space, puts it through, back to 10 goals, 36 to 26. So Clark, Dewhurst, comes back for the moment. Barnett did well, here is Clark, Dewhurst involved once more. Clark again, all the way back to Barnett. And then once again, Clark, they're really corralling them well here. And Narre Warren Ferguson just got a bit of contact from Dwyer. So stays with Monbulk for the moment. Ferguson in open space did well. And puts that one through, gets it back to 9 goals, 36 to 27. Hennessy, Machado, Tonner. Long pass, good one as well. And Lolu puts it through, back to 10 goals the difference, 37 to 27. And Whittaker comes back onto the court. As the centre, here is Dewhurst. Ferguson, long pass. Oh, it's come off the post and it's going to fall back into the hands of Dwyer. Did that nicely. Hennessy on the end of this one. Tonner laterally and a good one to Barry and Tosu. It stays with Monbulk interestingly there, so looked as though Barry into the step dot side. Won't matter anyway. So Tonner got it from Machado. Can she go back to Machado? No, decides to go for Hennessy. Underground pass. Hennessy gets it once again. Couple of 1-2s and it comes out wide. Nicely done to Tonneru. Doesn't get this one, but Lolu will finish it off. 38 to 27. 11 goals the difference it is now. 38 to 27. So once again, out of the centre they go. Machado, short pass, good one. Tonner, Machado, waits. And knocked out of play momentarily there by Whittaker. So once again, working it around Machado. Tonner, ooh, just... Was on the same page with that one. A little reprieve there for the Monbulk defence. Himmelreich, short pass. Whitworth waits and gets up the court eventually to Barnett. Good one to McDowell, in fact, who's come back onto the court and very nicely done. Morrill did really well, but that pass just coming out of play. So Monbulk can go again. Barnett did well. Whitworth. Whittaker. Just comes away to Ferguson. So they can go again. Puts it up. Knocked away. And Ferguson doesn't have the shot at goal. And it is going to fall back for Narre Warren. Hennessy on the end of this one. Does well to Dwyer. Dwyer short to Machado. Machado and Dwyer. Good one. Hennessy once again. Laban has come back onto the court. Machado once again. Just continuing to work it around. Here we go. This is an opportunity once again for Machado, who did well to find Laban, who doesn't put that one through. Laban this time puts it through. Gets out to a 12-goal margin, 39 to 27. So here we go. McDowell does well. Short one to Ferguson. McDowell once again waits and puts it up, and that's a really good one. Finds Perry Reid, and she will put that through and get it back to 11 goals. 39 to 28 the score. Tonner did well. Machado cleverly done over the top to Laban. She'll finish it off and get it back to 12 goals, 40 to 28. So Ferguson knocked away nicely. Barrientos got in there at the right time. Machado short to Hennessy. Machado waits, and in the end it falls to Tonner. Hennessy, Machado. Oh, gee, Tonner lost her balance momentarily. Didn't matter, and Labar did very well. Not interested in the shot at goal just yet, but she puts it through this time. Make that 13 goals the difference, 41 to 28 the score. So out it comes once again. Good one. Tonner waits, and Laban. Very nicely done. And Laban puts it through. 14 goals the difference, 42 to 28. Really starting to get away now. And Narre Warren Ferguson with ball in hand to Whitaker, who did really well and could finish there to find Stewart, who finishes off the job. Cut it back down slightly to 13 goals, 42 to 29 it is. And they've just broken a bit too early here. Narre and Barnett doesn't want to waste any time. Quickly on to McDowell, back to Barnett. Unsure where to go, long pass. Whitaker did really well considering, and Ferguson on the end of it. And nicely done there. Get it back to 12 goals, 42 to 30. So Whitaker, Ferguson, McDowell, long. Oh, she's just kept it in, has Ellie Stewart. So this could be a real big opportunity for 3 in a row, and Stewart makes it work. So 42 to 31. Couple of tense moments there for her, but she did well. So once again, Hennessy onto Tonner over the top beautifully to Machado. Gee. Could have been interesting, that one, but Machado held strong in the end, and now Laban can finish this off, get it back to 12 goals, 43 to 31. So once again, out of the centre, doing nicely. Here is McDowell, got it from Ferguson and found Stewart. And Stewart puts it through, so goal for goal at the moment. 43 to 32 it is. So Tonner did well to Machado, comes back to Tonner. Tonner once again. Can just line them up from here and makes no mistake, puts it through, back to 12 goals, 44 to 32. So once again, Whitaker, Ferguson, back to Whitaker, just Ferguson, who's now got a bit of room, does well. And they've made that work quite nicely of Monbulk. So once again, Stewart, who's doing most of the goal scoring at the moment for Monbulk, puts through another, gets it back to 11. 44 to 33, away of Narre Warren. Dwyer, Machado, back to Dwyer. Good pass presented nicely there was Laban. Faked the pass to Machado, then did go short in the end to Hennessy. Hennessy, Machado, Tonner, Laban. Very nicely done there by Narre. And no, didn't want to have the shot at goal, so now it's Tonner's opportunity. And Chelsea, Tonner puts it through nonetheless. So once again, back out to that 12 goal difference, 45 to 33. So out it comes, McDowell, long pass, good one it is. Ferguson, short again, that'll work out just fine, and then knocked away. So all the way back, McDowell presented nicely. Whitaker just losing her feet at the wrong time, won't matter. So Whitaker can just go short to Ferguson, who wins it eventually, and no, doesn't put it through. Disappointingly, and Dwyer onto the end of that. Barrientos did well. Tonner, good one. Machado had plenty of room. Could have gone for Laban, decided against it. Hennessy, oh, she spilled it momentarily. Machado, didn't matter. So once again, they can go here. Machado. And cleverly done by Tonner, just waited for the ball to land at the right spot and gets it out to a 13 goal difference. So out they go, the biggest lead so far. 14 goals, and Laban is about to get it back out to that. Just a little bit too easy there for Narre Warren. had plenty of room to put Laban, and once again, there's another goal. So once again, here we go, McDowell, long pass. Oh, maybe that was a bit too easy. Stewart puts it through, back to 13. And just a couple of Hail Marys here working out just fine. So, Hennessy, Tonner, Barrientos, Hennessy again, Barrientos again. Puts it over the top. Anyone's ball. Can Barnett track it back? She can, but not without giving contact first. Couple of 1-2s. This is Laban. Can line them up. And has a second chance at it. And this time puts it through. 48-34. So Whittaker, McDowell. Shaw, Ferguson just controlled it. McDowell fires it in nicely to Stewart, who's just waiting. And, oh, Whittaker's just been bowled over by her own teammate, it looks like. And then a little underground pass, a look away to McDowell. And then it's through the hands of Ferguson. Not without receiving contact, no, so it stays with Monbulk. So Ferguson will go again. Can't be too long left into this final quarter, and eventually Stewart able to hold on to it and puts it through and gets it back to 13 goals. And that will do us for three-quarter time. The score's here, 48-35, the way of Narre Warren. Far away, it's Brittany Machado back into the centre to take the centre pass. It's 12 goals the difference, the way of Narre Warren, who comes all the way back to Katani and Dwyer. Maund, Dwyer again. Short pass, Katani, and then Machado. Onto Lolu, over the head of Laban. It was through the hand. Oh, for some reason, Machado kept it in. I thought it was off the hands of Whitworth. It won't matter. So they're on the counter-attack. Clark did well. Dewhurst does well. This is Dewhurst once again to Ferguson. Ferguson, nicely done to Clark. And, oh, Ferguson, she just stepped inside the circle. Unlucky, but the umpire was right there. It was a good decision. So Machado on the end of this one comes back to Dwyer. Dwyer, Machado once again. Good pass up the court, finds Maund. Maund centres it beautifully here, and Laban presented nicely to it. Machado once again for Laban. Not knocked away there by Whittaker. Tried desperately, but just couldn't finish off the job. So Maund, and yeah, nicely done to Lolu, who puts it through. And there we go, back to 13 goals the difference, 48-35. And it comes back for the moment to Stewart, Whitworth, Clark, Ferguson doesn't step in this time, and here is Perry Reid, who gets Monbulk's first goal of the last quarter. 48-36 it is at the moment. So lateral to Katani, then it comes back to Katani once again, all the way across to Laban. Katani, Maund, Machado. Underground once again for Maund. Then Laban, not looking for the shot at goal. Machado just goes short again to Laban, who can line this one up and put it through. Gets back out to 13 goals, 49-36. So Clark out of the centre to Ferguson. Comes back to Dewhurst. Ferguson again. Short one again to Clark, and Reid just holding stronger position. And she can get this back to 12 goals, and she puts it through, 49-37. To 12 goals a difference, and Machado once again with a centre pass. Judy's comes back to Katani, it was. Maund, Machado. Katani. Machado eventually controls it. Laban. Beautifully done to Lolu. She puts it through. There's goal number 50 for Narre, back out to 13 goals the difference. So once again back in the centre. Back it comes to Whitworth, nicely done. Clark, Whitworth, Dewhurst, not Dewhurst, sorry, in fact it was Ferguson. Ferguson, good pass, and Reid got it from Stewart. And once again can get it back to 12 goals and puts it through, so 50-38 it is now. Machado comes laterally to Katani. Katani again, that time got it from Laban. Here is Maund, all the way back to Dwyer, and then Machado once again. Laterally, good to Katani. Machado. Once again to Laban and Maund. Laban for a third time. Could have gone back to Maund. Eventually does so, but they've turned it over. So Dewhurst, they're under the counter-attack, knocked away by Katani, but not without giving away contact. So back it comes to Dewhurst. Dewhurst, good one. Ferguson, Whitworth, Ferguson again, puts it up, and Stewart with plenty of room. Oh, cleverly done, fake the pass. Reed probably in the better spot, and Reed puts it through. And there's back-to-back goals for Monbulk, 50-39 it is now. 11 goals the difference. So here we go. Back in the centre. Ferguson got it from Clark. Good one to Stewart. Stewart comes back to Clark. Ferguson calls for it. Oh, beautifully done. Oh, gee. Just bounced off the face of Machado, and in the end, he's going to come back for Monbulk, and Reed had it knocked away. So back it comes. So Stewart just comes back for the moment. Puts it up, and here we go. Nicely done on the end of that pass. Was Reed, who puts it through and gets it back to 10 goals. So Machado once again with the centre pass duties. Nicely done. Wasted no time to Laban. Machado once more. Comes back to Catani this time. Then Machado for a third time. Waited and waited. Catani and Machado now more. Machado for a fifth time. Laban, Machado for a sixth. Maybe Laban this time with a shot at goal. Yep, she'll line them up, but that looks pretty good. And it drops in. Good one there from Poiti Laban. Gets it back out to 11 goals, 51-40. So Clark all the way back to Whitworth, and then Clark once again short to Ferguson. Waits and searches around it. Eventually goes back to Clark. Could have gone Ferguson, but found Stewart instead. Stewart, good pass. Here is Ferguson once again. Puts it up for Reed, who's got to track it back. But in the end, it was Clark who recovered it before it went out of play. And Stewart collected it, got contact as well from Morrill. And that's looking pretty good there from Stewart. Puts it through back to 10 goals once again. As the sun just pokes out here once more at Kalora Park. Lateral pass is a good one. Through the hands, Maund cannot keep it in play. So we'll come back for Monbulk, and have just been able to chip away at the margin slightly. Dewhurst, good one. Oh, gee. Clark under all sorts of pressure, but did well in the end to get it moving continuously. Ferguson just takes it hard and gets back up. So we'll restart once again. Clark, Reed calls for it, and eventually, oh. And so, and has been called. There we go. So it comes back the other way. Maund on the end of this one. Here is Laban. Looking around Machado. Nicely done. And puts it through 52-41. So it goes the pass. Little bit of contact given away there by Machado. Dewhurst. Ferguson. Couple of 1-2 passes, and eventually the shot at goal to be taken by Stewart. He's just brought forward slightly and finished off the job beautifully, 52-42. So once again, Machado, good one. Machado again, Maund. Comes back to Machado. Getting to the front was Clark, but off her hands, it goes out of play and stays at the moment with Narre Warren. So Maund once more. Comes back into Machado. Maund again. Waits around. Here is Laban. And just through the hands of Lolu. So Whitworth to Dewhurst. Whitaker, sorry, it was. So Whitaker. Come back into goalkeeper, long pass and a dangerous one, but Clark recovered it pretty well. Dewhurst finds McDowell. McDowell fires it into Stewart. And then another good one here onto Clark and then to Reed. So they've worked that out pretty well of Monbulk. They get it back to 9 goals, 52-43. And the centre pass for Clark. McDowell, who tries to open up the space, and they're just broken too early, have Narre. So this will come back for Dewhurst, who pops it up nicely there for Clark, and she might have put too much on this one, but no, tap back in there by Reed. Onto McDowell. Stewart knocked away, not legally. So we'll come back for Ellie Stewart, who can maybe make this 8 goals. Not just finds Perry Reed. He puts it through, gets it back to 8 goals. There we go. So back-to-back for Monbulk. 52-44 the score. So once again, Machado does nicely. Laban, long pass. Oh, doing well was Whitaker. And they're wasting no time. On to McDowell. He's got to wait a couple of moments, though. Comes back to Dewhurst. Dewhurst, McDowell once again. Short one again to Dewhurst. Here is Stewart. Waits. McDowell for a third time in this passage. Inboard. Good one to Stewart. And then found Clark, who got out the back. Looking for Reed and gets it to her. And suddenly they've got it back to 7 goals of Monbulk. And they've got the centre pass. So this is Clark, short one to Stewart, who had a bit of room, comes back to Clark. Comes back to Barnett. McDowell did really nicely. Clark, being corralled well by Barrientos, comes inboard. Barnett right on her measure. Clark got up at the right time, and here is Reed. And she could make it 6 goals the difference. Oh, no, well done twice. Steadfast in defence and got that ball moving away to Machado. Here is Tonner, on to Maund. Does really well. And there is Lolu. Right place, right time once again. Puts it through. It's back to 8 goals the difference. And you just have to take your opportunities against this Narre Warren side. They don't give you much. Tonner, Barrientos, Tonner again, Maund. Lolu called for it but won't get it. And puts that one through. 54 to 45. All the way back it comes. Long pass, good pass. To Clark it was, and another bib just falling off. So we'll go once again, Clark, and another. So first Catani, now Reed. So we'll restart for a third time. Here we go. Clark onto Stewart. Reed being double teamed at the moment, and Stewart eventually ends up with it. Doesn't. Oh. And Stewart did nicely to Reed. Can't get it back to 8 goals, very close quarters it is here. And Dwyer now taken out of it for contact, and Reed eventually puts it through, gets it back to 8 goals. And Machado is with the centre pass, just didn't realise it. So Machado just short to Catani, good one. Maund, laterally, good one. Lolu, Barrientos, Maund. Looked for Tonner, decided against it. Dan Lolu did well. And puts that one through, back out to 9 goals, 55 to 46. McDowell, they did that pretty well, I should say, wasting no time. Long one. Oh, Catani did really well. Got front spot and stole that ball back for Narre. Here is Maund, onto Barrientos. Did well to find Hennessy. Couple of 1-2 passes. Now it's with Tonner, knocked away by Clark, and in the end, fortuitously landed the lap of Whitworth. Barnett's got to hold onto it and does, and they've got to move quickly. Ferguson wastes no time to McDowell. Can she get it to Reed? Decides against it for now. Clark, Reed, here we go. No, Reed didn't. Oh, and they've coughed it up. Can you believe that? Probably just should have taken the shot at goal. Should have Reed anyway. Catani onto Maund. Hennessy. And she finds Lolu, and this once again get it back out to 10 goals. Tonner, Maund. And it will stay with Narre on this occasion. So Maund once again. Could have gone short off the hand of Whitworth, and it's knocked out of play. Is it? No, Hennessy kept it in. Good pass. Oh, Himmelreich did well. Oh no, but Maund did even better. Could have gone to Lolu. Decided Tonner was better, and can you believe that? Incredible stuff there from Matty Moore, just when you thought Monbulk were out the back. 56 to 46, read the scoreboard. Tonner through the hands of Lolu. So this will come back for the Hawks. Himmelreich up the, through the hands of Whitaker. That could be costly as well. Lolu got contact from Himmelreich. And Tonner just shorts the pass, but just couldn't complete the job there. Was Whitworth, and there's another goal, 57 to 46. So Whitaker back in the centre, can't waste any time here. Ferguson over the top to McDowell, who just kept it in play. And Ferguson, who's not looking for the shot at goal here, comes into Whitaker and Reed. And gee, they've done that well, the Narre defence. So once again, Barrientos, Dwyer, Hennessy, long pass Whitworth. In the end fell into the lap there of Whitaker and just waited the pass nicely to McDowell. Doing nicely there was Barnett. Whitaker waits a couple of moments and Katani did well to steal it and they're on the counter attack. Barrientos found Maughan and Maughan just goes very long. Good one to Tonna. Himmelreich did well enough, just got the contact from Lou, so very nicely done. And Maughan, did she get contact? No, umpire calls them to go. Anyone's ball here, Whitaker. And they can keep moving. Barnett has Whitworth out wide, but goes further a court to McDowell. McDowell short one and a good one it is to Ferguson, who comes back to McDowell. Ferguson once more, decided against Reed for the time being. Whitaker keeps it in. Long pass all the way across to McDowell. McDowell, Katani knocks it away. Anyone's ball, kept in by Barnett. Did that pretty well in the end. Laterally, and a good one. That was to Whitworth. Barnett, Whitworth again. Now Whitaker, Whitworth for a third time. Whitaker as well for a second. McDowell. Oh, it's somehow fell into the lap of Ferguson. And she puts through the goal. Gets it back to 10 goals the difference, 57 to 47. Yeah, just breaking too early here. And Narre, Warren and Monbulk really probably don't have a lot of time left. So Whitaker puts it up and, oh, well done, Dwyer. Snatches it straight back. This is Hennessy. Just waits a couple of moments. Found Maughan. Maughan quickly onto Tonna. Tonna. Long pass and a good one as well. Lou just stepped out of play though. So here we go. Barnett got it from Whitaker onto McDowell. McDowell laterally to Ferguson. Ferguson then back to Whitworth. McDowell once again involved. Whitaker, or Whitworth it is in fact. McDowell and through the hands of Reed. And that will do us for the round 16 Premier Division A grade match of the round between Narre and Monbulk.